find the decimal equivalent of this. And we're going to go this way. Recording. No, it's all right. You can. So we're going to go once. 4. We're going to add a decimal. Bring that down. And it's going to be 4 times because it's 36. Right? And then it's 4. And then we're going to bring another 0 down. So you notice that this is a repeating. It's going to be a repeating decimal. 1.444444 forever and ever, which we can write like this, right? The second question is the same, 17/18. So let me write it like this. So we all familiar with the different ways of writing it, different representations, right? So we put a 0, add a decimal. And that's going to be, I have no idea, let's try 8 times, 64, 6, let's try 9 times. 2 goes 7, 162. 8 left over, I'm going to bring 0 down, and that's going to be 4, which is 72. Subtract 8 left over, bring another 0 down, so now you know that it's going to be a repeating decimal again, right? Because it's going to be 4, 4, 4 again, over and over and over and over. So we're going to write that 0.74. Bar notation is on top of the 4, right? Because that's the number that's repeating. So how do we change 2.61 repeating part? Because that's the same thing as 2.616161. 6161 forever and ever. That's a repeating decimal, yeah? So let's change that. So the first thing you want to make this is set this equal to x. Then, because there's 2 repeating numbers, 1, 2, right? 61, 2 repeating numbers. We're going to multiply this on the left side and the right side by 100. So 100 times x is 100x. And then if I take 2.61616161 repeating, multiply that by 100, what ends up happening? That decimal moves 2 over, right? So my answer is 261.616161 forever and ever, or 261.61 bar notation. So 100 times x is 100x, and then 261 times 100 becomes 261.61 bar notation. If I subtract, look what happens. 100x minus x is 99x. If I subtract this, and this becomes 0, and 261 over minus 2 is 259. When you divide by 99, so x equals 99, 259, so this goes away, and that equals to 260 over 99, or we can simplify it even a little bit more. It'd be 220 over 33. Final answer. The next one, it's 1.3 bar notation like that. So let's again just showing you what that equals to. So that is the same thing as 1.33333333, right? So let's set that equals to x. There's only.
Good morning, 194. At this time, will everyone please rise for the pledge?
There's only one repeating number.
Is Mia from class 822.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we're going to, because there's one repeating number, we're going to multiply by 10. 10 times 10. And multiply this side by 10, multiply this side by 10. 10 times x is 10x. 10 times 1.3, so that's 1.333. You multiply by 10, it moves 1 over. So this becomes 13.333333, right? Right, like that.
Or the high school application process, Please see Ms. Hand in room 125 on Tuesday,
Subtract.
Thursday.
You got 10x equals, that goes away, equals 12. Sorry, not 10x.
The market period ends November 18th.
9x.
November 18th is the end of the market period. Please
So
make sure
divide both
you
sides by
check
9.
the feedback and you will
X
see
equals
from your
12 over
teachers
9, which
in
we can
regards to
simplify
missing
1 and
assignments.
3 ninths, or 1 and 1
1
third.
Teachers, you should be sending emails out,
Okay.
communicating to parents on how they can sign up for parent-teacher conference.
Next one, negative 3.2 times negative 5 over 8 divided by negative 1 and 1/4. So I'm going to change this to fractions. So improper fractions.
Tomorrow, and tomorrow is in the middle. What am I? The answer to yesterday's riddle is in the dictionary. Again, in the dictionary.
So I could even take it one step further and change that division to multiplication. Just think about that 1 and 1/4 is 5 over 4.
Would hatch. Again, if a rooster laid a brown egg and a white egg, what kind of chicks would hatch? Again, remember, boys and girls, if you have riddles, you may drop them off in the main office in the riddle box. Again, if you have a riddle you'd like to share, you can drop them off in the main office in the riddle box. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful Wednesday.
So I think personally that I saw some of you guys changing this using decimals. That just seems a lot of work. So personally, the more straight path, or the more efficient way, I think, is fractions. So divide by negative 1 and 1/4. Negative 1 and 1/4 is 5/4. So we know that, and division means multiply by the reciprocal, which is 4/5. You could have done that, and now that it's multiplication, it's just we can simplify a bunch of things before we actually multiply. So it's a negative times a negative times a negative. So I know my answer is my negative. So let me take care of that first. So let's simplify. So that 1, that becomes 2, that's 1, this becomes 16, that 5 and this 5 goes away. 10 divided by 2 is 5, 16 divided by 2 is 8, and I think that's it. There's a 1 here, so it's 8 over 5, or negative 1 and 3/5. Okay? So you can leave it as improper, or you can leave it as a mixed number. It really depends on what the question asks you to do. Next one, 4/5 divided by 3/7 over 21 over 15 minus 1.5. So allow me, because I already see a bunch of fractions, and I'm going to change the 1.5 to 15 over 10. Okay, so I'm just going to take advantage and do that. Let's do that parentheses first, right? So I'm going to do it on the side here. Let me pull that 4/5 divided by 3/7. The same thing as 4/5 times 7 over 3. Nothing to simplify. We got 28 over 15. Okay, so we're going to leave that like that. So I'm going to write 28 over 15 over 21 over 15, right? And then we're going to subtract that by 15 over 10. Now, showing work, right? So if this is a question that you need to show work, this is what I would like to see. So next would be the 28 over 15, which is being divided by 21 over 15, and we're going to change that to the reciprocal, and then minus 15 over 10, right? So I'm focusing here now, right? Change that division to a multiplication. So obviously this can go away. Divide by 7, this is 3. Divide by 7, this is 4. So again, 4/3, and I'm still leaving it as an improper fraction. If I can finally subtract, and this is just super easy, right? And this is what, 45. So it's going to be a negative number, and negative 5, which is negative 1 over 6. Simple. Okay. Explain why square root of 7. Well, there's obviously no exact number, no same number to multiply by 7. Multiplied by itself, it equals to 7, right? No number squared. So let me just take out a calculator here, and I'm on my calculator, which is my phone. I'm gonna put the square root of 7, and you're gonna, well, if you have a big calculator, you can use that. So my phone says that the answer is 2.64575. Oops. 2.645713110645591, and then ... because it's a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. Now I'm going to take that, Now multiply that by the same number. So I'm going to, in my calculator, I'm going to multiply that by 2.645751311064591 and show you what I get. 2.6457513110645191. And it rounds up to 7. So I wish my phone didn't do that, but that's probably, and I have no idea, either this and then some number here, depending on how many digits, or it might even look like this. Not exactly 7, but very close to 7. Okay, and then more digits. So let's just say that we round this 2.64, right? Let's multiply 2.64 times 2.64. That's going to give us 6.996. Let's multiply 2.647. It's 2.6457 times 2.6457. I'm just going to get a few more decimals. Let's see what happens when I multiply 4 decimal places. I get 6.99972,849. So see how this number is a little bit closer to 7? So the more decimal places you use, the closer you're going to get to 7, but really never getting to 7. Okay, so it's an approximation, and because it's a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal, it is a irrational number. Okay. Next one we have this. The area is 16 1/5 feet squared. It tells us that the width is 7 1/4. And we say that what's the area of the playground? Okay, so area equals length times width. We change that. So the width 7 1/4 feet. So area is given to me, 16 1/5. The length I don't know, but the width I do know is 7 1/4. And I know I've done this previously, but think of this as this. 2x. What would we do? We will, to isolate the variable x and find the value of x, we use inverse operations. We would divide this by 2 and this by 2, right? And x would equal 5. So the same thing that we did here, we would do here. Obviously, we have to make a few adjustments because it's a mixed number, but the idea is the same. So I divide this by 7 1/4, divide this by 7 1/4, and that should give us our length. These two will simplify to 1. So now this is 7 1/4. We just have to divide. So 16 1/5 divided by 7 1/4. Let's make our change. What is this? 80, 81 over 5 times the reciprocal of this, which is, first of all, 7 1/4 is 29 over 4, right? So put 4 over 29. Anything simplify? Times? No, I don't think so. Divided by 3? No, that's not a multiple of 3. That's a multiple of 3, but not 29. So that's it. That's 4. That's 32, and this one is 45. 145. We can definitely change this to a mixed number. So it's twice 290. 34 over 145. I think I'm correct. Okay. Feet. Not squared because we're measuring distance, right? So the length is 234 over 145 feet. That sort of makes sense, right? Because approximately 7.25 times 2 and 1/4, it's about 16 and a half, right? So just by estimating, I know I'm very close to my answer. 8. This is the board question. So I have 4 boards, each measuring, more like a trick question, no? Each measuring 7.5 feet in length. And you want to cut these boards into this size, 1/4. So let's make it. How many of these can I make with all these, with these 4 boards? Well, let's see how many of these small ones I can cut from a 7.5 feet board, right? So we're going to go 7.5 divided by 1/4. It's 15 over 2 divided by 9 over 5. I'm going to take the multiply by the reciprocal, which is 5 over 9. And that's 45 over 18. think. No. 75 over 18. Apologies. And then 18. So how many boards can we make? Well, let's see. 18 times 4 is 72. So definitely 4 boards. 3 left over 18, or better yet, 4 and 1 over 6. So I can definitely cut 4 of these. I can get one that measures 1 4/5. I can measure another one that measures 1 4/5. I can cut another one that measures 1 4/5. I can cut another one 1 4/5. But the last one, the last one 1 4/5. But the last one is not enough. And that what's that leftover part is the 1/6. So for each of these 7.5 feet boards, I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll have 1/6 left over. 1/6 left over. So I have 4 of the boards that I want. 1/6 left over. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I cut it wrong. So I can get, this is my leftover part, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, and I can have 1, 2, 3, 4 boards of the size that I want. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have, what's the question here? How much will I have left over? It would be 1/6, 4 over 6 left over, right? 1/6 with 1/6 with 1/6, 1/6 or 6 or 2/3. Next one is the string one. So you have 119.5 yards. I have 76.98 feet. 1,350. What is this? Inches. If we started with 795.76 feet, how much is left over? So we use this much, right? So basically I have to add this 3, right? That's how much I use, and subtract it from that value. Well, because this is in feet, let's change everything to feet. So 19.5 to change yards to feet, which is multiplied by 3. And I have no idea what we get. We're going to get 58.5. That's 58.5. Second one I don't have to switch, so it's just 76.98. Third one is inches, and inches to feet divided by 12. Sorry, times 12. No, divided by 12. We have 112.5 feet. So this is what it is in feet. Feet. So it's just a matter of adding them up. We get 8, 19, carry 1, 15, 17, carry 1, 14, carry 1, 247. So that's what I used. And then we subtract, and we get how much left over. We have to borrow 14, 16, 16, that's 8, that's 7, 7, 4, 1. That's how much left over. Okay, so the watermelon last year that weighed 350 pounds. We want to grow one that's a little bit bigger, 1 5/8 bigger. So, and then from that new watermelon that's definitely bigger than this, we're going to take a certain amount to make candy. So how much of that new watermelon are we going to use to make candy? So that was last year's. Multiply that by 1 5/8. That's going to give us the weight of our bigger watermelon, right? Bigger watermelon this year. So let's multiply that. 8 times 1 is 8. 5 is 13. Right? And we get some monster number divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 175. Can we do anything else? No. So it's 175 times 13. So it's going to give us 2,275 over 4. Which is going to give us, as a guess, we can leave it like that because, we can leave it like that for now. Or if you want to change that, you get 568 3/4 as a mixed number, but leave it as an improper fraction right now because we're going to take 4/7 of that, and it's easier to take 4/7 of that. So 4/7 of this new watermelon. I'm going to use that to make candy. So that goes away, and let's see if we can simplify that. 2275 divided by 7. Oh yeah, look at that. It's a nice whole number. So 325 pounds of this watermelon will be used to make candy. Again, with the width and area, we have the length is 2 3/5. The width is 2 times the length, and 2 times the length, it's 2 times 2 3/5, right? Which is going to give us, well, this is 2.6 or 5.2 or 5 2/10 or 5 1/5, whichever one you want to use. Okay, so I know that this is my length and that's my width. And then find the area and perimeter. Okay, so the area, we have for you guys to figure it out. 2.35 times 5 1/5. And then the perimeter, right, is just all the sides that we have. This is 2 3/5. This is 5 1/5. So I've definitely used decimals here. Probably easier, right? So you can go 2 times 2.6 plus 2 times 5.1. Sorry, 5.2. Okay, so this is 5.2, this is 10.4, oops. 10.4, and our final answer is 15.6, what is this, feet? Inches? Something, inches. Our area is just a product of these two, which you guys can figure out yourselves. 9.21 is just rational. They're all real, but that's just rational. 10/2 is counting. Whole, integer, and rational. Right, because 10/2 is really 5, right? This, I don't know what that is, but I know it's a positive number, a positive whole number. So again, that's going to give me a counting, whole, integer, and rational. The last one is a repeating, and if it's repeating, it's a rational. Okay. Okay, so an adult weighs this much, and if it weighs 1/8 of that amount, then it just means multiplication, right? So take that 1/8 times 170 times 4 plus 3, that's going to give us 683, and times that by 1/8, or divide that by 8, you're going to get 85 and something. And I have it as a fraction because I use a calculator, sorry. It's, what is it, 683. You know what? Let me do it. 683 divided by 8. That's 8, 64, 43, which is a 5, 40, 3, let's go put a few zeros. We're going to get a 3, which again is 24, 6, bring the 0 down, it's going to give it a 7, which is 56, and then 4, it's going to be a 5, right? Bring the 0 down, it's going to be a 5, so there's my answer, 85.375 thousandths of a pound. 13/10 divided by negative 0.45 is definitely easier if you do it times 0.45, fractions 45/100. I'm going to do a reciprocal of that. It's a negative, by the way, so my answer is negative. 10, that goes away. Divided by 5 is 2, divided by 5 is 9, and we get 13, sorry. 26 over 9, negative, or 3 and, what is that? 18, sorry, not 3, 2 and 8 over 9, negative. 8 and 1/5, 6.4 plus negative 2 1/10 minus 7 over 89. Definitely definitely decimals here. The easier way to do it. And then positive and negative is just a negative, so I'm just going to write 2.1 minus 7.89. So this is really not too difficult. 8.2 minus 6.4 is just 1.8 minus 2.1. That's going to give us negative 0.3 minus 7 is negative 7.3, and then minus 7.89. You can change it to addition if you like, or if you're okay. This is going to be negative 15.19, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. I probably have so many errors here, which I'm sure you'll let me know. So 7.3. 1519. Okay. So notice that, again, you could have used fractions, but I think decimals would have been the way to go. Absolute value. And then, so this is just order of operations, right? So here, let's do this. And this is negative 15. So that's what I'm going to get, right? Negative 5. And then this is just negative 28. Absolute value of that is just 28. I'm going to subtract 144, right, because that's what 12 squared is. So 144 minus 28 is going to give us simply negative 116. And 18 minus 24 minus 5 squared, take care of, let's change this to standard notation. 18 minus 24 minus 25. And we can do this. 16 is just 64. So 18 minus 24 is negative 6. Negative 6 and negative 25 is negative 31. So that's what it is inside absolute value. Take the absolute value, subtract these two, change it to addition if you so choose to. And this is going to be negative 33. So again, you will have a calculator on your test here. So we have $8.99. A package of smoked bacon is that. I'm going to multiply that by 5. Make sure you round to the nearest hundreds. And then times 2.99 for the apple, 7/8 of a pound. 2.5 times 7.49. So again, I think the thing here is for you to be careful and make sure you round to the nearest hundreds. So here we get 44.95. Okay. And 7/8 times 2.99 is going to give us 2.61625, but you're going to round this to 2.62, and that's the value you're going to use. Next one is 2.5 times 7.49, that's 18 again. You're going to get 18.725, which you're going to use 18.73, right? These are three values. So if you add them up, 2.62 plus 18.73, you get 66.3. So that was your total. So apparently you got 37.70 change. So let me add the 37.7 in change that you got. That's a 10. That's a 10 again. That's a 10. So it means that you used a $100 bill to pay for it, right? You paid with a $100 bill. That was your total, and that was your change.